What up, Alpha Team? It's DJ AlphaTyler, and we are back again with another reaction. Y'all already know what it is. You see the title. This one right here came from the reaction request form. So, for everybody thinking I ain't checking the reaction request form, y'all already know that is one of the ways to get your reaction requests heard on the channel in these recorded reactions. So make sure you get down in the description below if you got some suggestions that you want to see caught on the channel. We are checking out Endr 1 with the song Self-Care. Now, I've never heard Endr 1 that I can think of. Definitely haven't heard the song Self-Care. We're catching the official music video, so I'm excited to get into it, get into a new artist, all that good stuff. Shout out to Heather for sending this one over. Before we jump into the reaction, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below to join the Alpha Team. Don't forget to ding that notification bell to get on a notification squad so you can always know when we got some new content dropping. Like the video if you enjoy the reaction. If you don't know the original song, make sure you get down at the bottom of the description below and check it out. This one is tagged with all kinds of interesting things. It says PTSD, depression, anxiety, rage, quit, guilt, shame, etc. So I'm guessing we're talking about some mental health issues right here. I'm ready to get into it. You should be too. And without further ado, we're going to see what Endr 1 is all about. Let's get it.
You ever have flashbacks of trauma, easily triggered, like you don't need a gun, cause you are the loaded weapon? I wonder if that's...
Okay, so we coming out, flashbacks, trauma, easily triggered. I will say I like the slow build. I mean, giving some instrumental break, you know, let the beat ride for a minute before we actually jump in. Interested in the guy's voice so far. I'm gonna have to hear some more to make a final, you know, statement on where I stand on this, but let's go. We know, I mean, hey, we're talking about self-care, we're talking about those mental health issues. This one's not going to be an easy topic for a lot of people to go through. Let's get it.
Easily triggered, like you don't need a gun, cause you are the loaded weapon. I wonder if that's the karma, showing me flashing pictures, playing with my guilt like lawyers and co-defendants. Like if I'm really not guilty, why am I so defensive? Like I gotta convince myself of my own intentions.
Facts, though. I mean, if you've been through those things, I mean, going from what he was talking about originally, you are the loaded weapon. You don't need a gun to go out and do this. You know, you end up with all those different emotions coming in. Why do I have to convince myself that I'm innocent if I already know that I didn't do anything wrong? Well, because a lot of times when you're really dealing with that, with them emotions, when you're dealing with those pains, when you're dealing with not, oh, I'm depressed, oh, I have anxiety, oh, that makes me anxious, I'm having a panic attack. Not when you're actually going through like those self-diagnosed bullshit, you know, whatever that everybody wants to jump on when they hit a little bit of a moment where they're a little moody. But when you're actually going through those clinically diagnosed real issues, I mean, my man's digging through it. Like sometimes, I mean, just real talk, I deal with these things. I'm sure a lot of people who watch this channel do. And when you actually get in that moment, you do have to stop yourself sometimes. Even if I know I didn't do anything wrong, I got to ask myself, was there something that I triggered this? Did I go too far? Did I react poorly and cause this to spiral out of control? I mean, let's go. What have I done? I've not unpaused the video. Aha. Now I'll unpause the video.
A prisoner of my emotions, and I fucking hate to admit it, but I'm the guy who wrote that sentence. My heart is too broke to mend it. Say you love me, hope you meant it. Honestly, don't have that many, so I hold on close to friendship. Eyes rolling, I can sense it. Might as well wear an every fucking coat appendant that says I'm coded.
Is this video edited? Am I missing something here?
I can sense it. Might as well wear an every f***ing codependent that says I'm codependent. I ask, is this really what the good Lord intended? Survivor's guilt so real, can't enjoy my own blessings. Violence and aggression.
I like that too. Survivor's guilt so real, can't enjoy my own blessings. I mean, we end up at the point where you know, we just hate ourselves and blame ourselves so much because of something somebody else did. Somebody is gone. Somebody's not in our life anymore for whatever reason. They've moved on. They moved forward, and you know, now we're just mad at ourselves. Like.
Survivor's guilt so real, can't enjoy my own blessings. Violence and aggression, I cycle through each lesson to find temporary peace. Like I don't own it, I just rent it because I'm getting tired of this old pair of shoes. I've been running most of my life, for most of my life. I've been hiding skeletons in my closet, guarded and locked up tight. Like if I don't see them, then they aren't there. But I still feel them breathing when they come up for air. Yeah, I'm done saving everyone else. Now I gotta try to save myself. In one hand is my pen.
I like this too. So I reacted to a Burden song right before I reacted to this one. I'm not sure which one will get published when, but you know, Burden was talking in his newest track about the same thing. He was talking about, you know, basically fixing yourself, putting yourself first, and realizing like you got to own your issues and you got to actually work on fixing them before you can actually get anywhere else or fix anything else. And that's a lot of what's coming up here too. When you're dealing with those mental issues, when those issues are in your head, whether it's, you know, depression, anxiety, PTSD, where it's something that you're screaming, again, the theme through all this, really think about it. Why is it that everybody who works through and survives with these kinds of issues, why do they all point you to fix yourself first? Well, it's because you can't help anybody else until you help yourself.
It's like a rusty shovel. I used to dig up certain skeletons that are tearing me up, and it isn't right, but what's left in the other is the baggage I can't drop. So I carry a grudge like old books you blow off. The air is just dust, even the covers almost ripped like they could tear at your touch. Feels like a smoking gun, fresh from a Derringer slug. My hands dirty from those stories still buried in the mud. I've told you everything, I swear, I've shared enough. Knowing I'm lying like OJ in the court, wearing that glove. Now I'm the old dude in a t-shirt that I wear to the club that says I miss the days when I didn't know what self-care was. I'm going to therapy twice a week. They tell me to share and I'm trying to speak, but all my words are falling off like I can't find the beat. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I took the kerosene they poured on me and lit the fire. I'm a survivor, so wait, oh, you need help? Then sure.
I was trying to let this play through because dude's going on such a rampage, but there's so much to talk about. Like he's talking about basically how age, as you go through this timeline with these issues, like how it just gets worse and worse and it compounds and it builds. And then he's talking about, you know, you start going to therapy and you start spilling all that stuff out, and it becomes a thing where you're looking at, you know, I missed the days where I didn't know what self-care was. I missed the days where I wasn't talking about these issues. I missed the days where all my stuff wasn't bleeding out, coming front and center, and I wasn't being transparent and upfront with what was going on in my life. Because now I'm having to think about it, I'm reliving it, and it's literally spiraling and tearing and pulling new emotions out. And that's the trap we get in so many times, man. It's like you bottle it up to try and deal with it, to try and hide it, to try and not let it affect people around you. But then you move over, you start getting it out, and then it starts bubbling up. You start resurfacing old things that you may have forgotten. You start dealing with those emotions that you've kind of moved away from, all that stuff. You know, that trap is, what do you actually do with it? How do you actually deal with taking care of yourself in this situation? And honestly, like, I'll be the first to say I don't know the answer, but I do know I think everybody deals with it in their own way. Everybody comes to grips with their mental imbalances in their own way and walks through their own path in dealing with that.
Off like I can't find the beat. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I took the kerosene they poured on me and lit the fire. I'm a survivor, so wait, oh, you need help? Then sure, I can be your rock. And if we talk, you can trust I won't let a sentence be known. I
like that too when we're talking about, you know, He's going from saying I took the kerosene that they poured out and lit the fire. He's saying I took all this fuel, I took all this emotion and everything that got brought back up and around, and I used that to kind of set a new blaze. You know what I'm saying? But then of course I'll be your rock. I'll be there for you if you're struggling with things. And that reminds me back to Mises' song, you know, Free Pression, when we're talking about, you know, how can someone who needs help possibly be helping them? You know, what's crazy is if you look, most of the people that you talk to when you're at your lowest points, when you're having your issues and all that stuff, are the people who need the most help themselves.
I ask you at least make a little effort to walk. It's just cause I'm solid don't mean you'll use me as a stepping stone, mother. I'm getting tired of this old pair of shoes I've been running most.
Oh, I should have let that play out to the stepping stone part. Hold up.
Can be your rock, and if we talk, you can trust I won't let a sentence be known. All I
being true to somebody else and holding their secret.
ask is you at least make a little effort to walk. It's just cause I'm solid don't mean you'll use me as a stepping stone.
And that's the part too. A lot of times when you're there for somebody and you become their rock, you become the person that they latch onto, they hitch onto, they feed their frustrations and emotions through. They absolutely will make you, you know, their stepping stone. Not everybody, but sometimes.
I'm getting tired of this old pair of shoes I've been running most of my life. For most of my life I've been hiding skeletons in my closet, guarded and locked up tight. Like if I don't see them, then they aren't there. But I still feel them breathing when they come up for air. Yeah, I'm done saving everyone else. Now I gotta try to save myself.
All right. So Endr 1. Wait, what was that saying right there? Dedicated to anyone suffering from mental illness. Come on, of any kind. Okay, you are not alone. Subscribe, comment, share to support. Absolutely. I mean, dude came with a lot of things. One thing that I like, we're talking about mental health in that. We're talking about all aspects of mental health. But dude actually absolutely came from a chaotic angle. I mean, the song sounded really chaotic. He was kind of going through his mental frustrations. You know, one way that you embody what you're trying to talk about in your music, that is such a strong delivery for anybody watching who is actually struggling, trying to figure out, you know, their path, their way, what they're going through. I really do like the delivery and the style. I was on the fence when the song started about how I felt about Homie's voice, but as it developed, I mean, I really like the feel. I would love to hear some more from Endr 1, just because I feel like you know this one is such a testament to talk about what so many people are going through, talk about so many angles of it, so many of those doubts and those frustrations, those complaints, those spirals that you go through in your own head, how you struggle, how you end up frustrated, how you get back around to the other side, all that. And I'm really about the message that's being presented here. I think you guys are too. I think that's pretty much everything I have to say about it. I think I said everything else while I was pausing along the way. Y'all let me know down in the comments. What do you guys think about it? If you guys liked it, haven't heard Endr 1 before, the link is always down in the description below. Make sure you go check it out, like, share, and subscribe over there. If you're new to this channel, make sure you do the same thing over here. And that's all I got. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me for a minute. I hope you're staying safe, taking care of yourselves. I'm DJ AlphaTyler, and I'll catch you guys next time.
That's right, because the managers won't take their balls. Grab your balls, you a grown-ass man. Whining and crying like it's a part of your plan, can understand. Yeah, you repping that you go hard, rapping with no bars. Reckon you a joke, only ripping off the real stars. I got the diabolic rhyme, and you know we're gonna have one hell of a time. Stick a sip of the shot, I'm sensing your mind. Been on the sideline watching, aging like a fine wine inferno in your mind, like Dante in the 9-9.